Hello, greetings, and welcome everyone to this speculative video. This week's extra video was supposed to be about the cycles of common mistakes that automakers that have failed and have gone bankrupt and/or are currently failing make to get into their situations. So I found it really ironic that the one example of a company that is seeing the most success in my previous script, which is now being revised just a little bit, made what I believe could be the biggest blunder in all of their history. I am speaking, of course, of the news that Tesla effectively fired all of its charging staff. There are some great videos that I will link below if you would like those details. The video focus today is where I believe the company will go from here. In speculative videos like this one, where I try to predict the future, I always go with three scenarios: the best case, the likely case, and the worst case. With that stated, let's get started. The firing of Tesla's Supercharger staff happened very quickly and at the drop of a hat. So much so that some automakers cited speaking with members of the team the day before they were terminated. In my opinion, the best case scenario is that Elon already had a team set up to replace the downsized team, and that the turnaround time for the team to pick up where the former team left off will be as quick as early next week. Everything will be more or less back to normal with the transition to NACS, and this will be a small bump in the road and a few catchy headlines somewhere. As you likely can imagine, I have said many times on this channel, the best case scenario is usually very unlikely. I would say that the chances of this being the case are very small. So much so that I would attribute it to maybe a 2% chance at best. I suspect that finding a team to replace their former team, especially when the team in question was doing a fantastic job based on all factors that we could see, is going to be a huge uphill battle that may take as long as several months. That delay or slowdown will affect EV sales more than likely, since a fairly large portion of EV hopefuls, including myself, who lived through the transition to USB from all those random proprietary connectors, were only considering an EV because there existed a plug that made it standard and also unlikely to see any more than 2 charging plug options when you go to plug in your car to charge. The likely case is that this move has put a significant amount of fear in the hearts of folks who were considering a Tesla because of the network. I suspect that the first quarter numbers that we saw for Tesla will continue a similar trend in the second quarter. Specifically, Tesla not quite meeting their sales goals, and for that trend to continue until a team is found. Overall, this is just a slowdown, but it may end up feeling like something more because of those in the news media that are trying to slow down the adoption of EVs. There will be FUD. Let me emphasize, there will be FUD. It's not permanent. EVs are not dying. They're not going anywhere. It's just that this transition makes it very, this decision by Elon Musk makes it very unlikely that we will see as big adoption numbers as we saw in the previous few years. The worst case scenario is very simple. Tesla would be unable to find a new team for perhaps a year or more after they fired their previous team. In this scenario, a scenario that I would like to emphasize is the one I believe is least likely. The NACS standard would be more or less on life support from a perspective of putting in new chargers, which would only exacerbate the slowdown in EV growth. By the way, EV growth, not EV sales, as some of those fudsters would like you to believe. To the point where hybrids actually have a chance to become a dominant part of the automotive market. Beyond just thinking that this is the least likely scenario, I sincerely hope that this is the least likely scenario, because in that scenario we would basically be beholden to oil and gas companies for another couple of decades at best. I certainly hope that Tesla springs back from this quickly, and I want to emphasize this fairly short video is only my guess for what is likely to happen. This hiccup on the road to an electric vehicle future may last for a little while, but I doubt there will be any major transition-ending fallout from this. EVs, actual EVs, not hybrids, are the future, and I believe will do the most good for the future of the planet. So until such a time as fusion reactors or diamond batteries become mainstream, they are the best we have. To the Supercharger team that was fired, I certainly hope that you guys end up landing on your feet, and I want to emphasize that nothing in this video was meant to belittle or bring down your particular plight. I'm not trying to make light of you at all, and I hope you are able to bounce back. Thank you all for watching this video. If you guys like the video, please do all the YouTubey things, and I will catch you next time.